Breaking developments in the mystery of EgyptAir Flight 804. The jet vanishing from radar over the Mediterranean after taking off from Paris bound for Cairo. The main question, of course, tonight, was it terror that brought it down? Right here this evening, the major clues. 66 passengers and crew on board, 3 of them children. New images of the intense search for debris coming in now. Authorities say the flight made a sharp 90-degree left turn, then spinning 360 degrees to the right, then plunging 37,000 feet into the sea. Tonight, families at the airport in Cairo now grieving. ABC's David Curley takes us step by step through the final moments of that flight.
Just in tonight, these scenes, the scouring of the surface of the Mediterranean Sea looking for any sign of the EgyptAir Flight 804. A U.S. military aircraft aiding in the search, and early suggestions that debris was discovered, tonight discounted by Greek search crews. This is a jetliner which fell out of the sky with no distress call. The late-night flight boarded 56 passengers and 10 crew members, including 3 air marshals, taking off from Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport at 11:09. Near the end of the 4-hour flight, at 2:30 a.m., the pilots check in with air traffic control. All is fine as the jet enters Egyptian airspace at 37,000 feet, cruising altitude. 16 minutes later, the Airbus A320 just drops off radar screens. The Greek defense minister says his country's radar shows the plane erratically turning left, then making a full circle to the right, possibly suggesting the jet was falling out of the sky. At 2:50, the last attempt to contact EgyptAir 804, no response. Egyptian officials begrudgingly admitting the most likely cause of this crash is terror.
The possibility of having a different action or having a terror attack is higher than the possibility of having a technical.
The jetliner had flown to trouble spots before Paris. On Tuesday, it was in Eritrea, and to Tunisia yesterday before making the Paris to Cairo flight. Tom Howder is a crash investigator.
If it turns out that this is a bomb, yes, you have to look at the whole security for all the flights. Where did the aircraft come from? What kind of bomb was it?
Hours after the jet disappeared, relatives gathered at airports, learning the grim news that no one survived. Amidst the grief, relief for this man, who at the last moment changed his flight, or he too would have been on Flight 804. I had knots in my stomach, and I have had ever since then. I am really lucky. Where this jet went down is some of the deepest water in the Mediterranean, more than 6,000 feet, which means the recovery of black boxes or wreckage will have to be done with remotely controlled vehicles. David?
Could be extremely difficult to get to those flight data recorders. David Curley, thanks to you. Let's get right to ABC aviation consultant, retired Colonel Steve Ganyard. Colonel, always great to have you with us. I want to take our viewers at home right to the animation you and I were studying. There were reports that the EgyptAir flight hooked to the left at 90 degrees and then turned at 360 in the other direction, but you're not convinced that that plane was intact at that point.
We have not seen, David, the Greek radar data. What we do have is the data the airplane itself was transmitting that showed it straight and level at 37,000 feet 1 minute, and the next minute it was gone.
So what do you think the radar was picking up?
One idea could be that the airplane came apart at altitude, and what that radar was seeing was the actual pieces of the airplane as it hit the water.
The pieces going in that 360-degree fashion. In the meantime tonight, how big of a deal is it that there was no distress call at all?
No distress call. The airplane disappears at 37,000 feet, suggests something catastrophic happened, and perhaps that catastrophe was a bomb.